Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we've got a 5-minute analysis that deconstructs literally one of the most famous scaling stories in modern business history. We're looking at a case study that perfectly captures the absolute essence of entrepreneurship. You know, how a simple, almost desperate idea morphed into a massive global hospitality platform. We're talking, of course, about Airbnb.
So let me ask you, would you let a complete stranger sleep in your spare room? Today, you probably wouldn't even hesitate, but I want you to put yourself back in the mindset of 2007. The whole idea was practically unheard of, right? No way. Yet this exact question was the central, seemingly impossible obstacle that two completely broke founders had to overcome to build their empire. Section 1. The Air Mattress Experiment.
The timeline here is just fascinating, mostly because it starts out of pure necessity. Picture this. It's 2007. Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia are two designers living in San Francisco, and they are flat out struggling to pay their rent. Well, at the exact same time, this major design conference rolls into the city and boom, every nearby hotel is totally booked up. Now, instead of just groaning about a temporary, annoying problem, they spotted an opportunity. They literally went out, bought 3 air mattresses, inflated them right on their apartment floor, and offered breakfast to conference attendees who just needed a place to crash. They called it Air Bed and Breakfast. It only earned them a few bucks at the time, but man, it proved a massive concept. Section 2. The Digital Marketplace Model. Now, as you'll see, the sheer scale of the market inefficiency they uncovered was absolutely staggering. On one side, you've got millions of people all around the world sitting on this massive untapped resource, empty rooms in their homes. And on the flip side, you have millions of travelers actively seeking affordable, authentic, local stays instead of, sterile traditional hotels that couldn't always keep up with demand anyway. Chesky and Gebbia realized, hey, we don't need to build hotels to solve this. We just need to be the digital bridge connecting these two huge groups. But bridging that gap, that required some serious innovation. To create a hospitality empire without actually owning a single piece of real estate, they had to solve a crazy amount of friction. Just look at this list of key innovations. They built a digital marketplace featuring online property listings, secure digital payments, two-way guest and host reviews, strict identity verification, seamless mobile booking, and dynamic pricing tools. I mean, every single one of those bullet points represents a massive hurdle they had to clear just so everyday homeowners could rent directly to guests safely and easily.
Section 3. Overcoming early friction.
Because, their absolute most existential threat was this trust barrier. Think about it. They had to convince strangers to stay in another person's home. How do you actually build trust between a host and a guest who have literally never met? And on top of that, they face that classic chicken and egg problem of getting enough users on the platform to even make it viable in the first place. They had to pitch this wild concept to highly skeptical investors, all while navigating this incredibly complex web of legal and regulatory requirements across different countries. It was a massive uphill battle on every single front.
Section 4. The Growth Strategy. Let's move along and see how this builds, because their growth strategy was laser-focused. To crush that trust barrier, they completely obsessed over customer trust. By leaning heavily into their rating and review system, they continuously tweaked their user-friendly tech, basing it strictly on customer feedback. They expanded globally while simultaneously forging real partnerships with local communities, and they just never stopped innovating. Once they mastered the spare room, they expanded into entirely new categories: long-term stays, local experiences, and even business travel.
Section 5. Anatomy of the Entrepreneurs.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact traits of the founders, because Chesky and Gebbia weren't just one type of entrepreneur. They were innovative, right, because they introduced a completely new platform-based business model for accommodation. They were technology entrepreneurs building a global digital marketplace using web and mobile tech. They were absolutely growth entrepreneurs, which we see in their rapid expansion across countries scaling to millions of users. And partially, they were even social entrepreneurs because they enabled everyday homeowners to earn additional income while giving travelers better access to affordable places to stay. It's just a really powerful combination of traits.
And the macro-level impact of that combination? Nothing short of world-changing. Airbnb didn't just create new income opportunities for homeowners, it actively increased tourism in so many destinations. It completely challenged the traditional entrenched hotel industry. It acted as a massive catalyst for the growth of the broader sharing economy, and it has inspired literally thousands of other digital platform startups that followed right in their wake.
So we started this 5-minute explainer looking at two founders who were really just trying to make rent. They didn't have capital, they literally just had 3 air mattresses and an eye for solving a problem. So I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. What untapped resources are sitting right in front of you? Seriously, what everyday friction could be your own air mattress experiment? Keep looking for those hidden, scalable opportunities in your daily struggles, because as this case study proves, that is exactly where empires begin.